Good day to everyone. We're joined here by Attorney Amando Kho from Cagayan de Oro. We invited him because of a recent decision by the Regional Trial Court here in Cagayan de Oro about the conviction of convicting 5 police officers for the kidnapping of Cagayanon into almost 7 years ago, or more than 6 years ago. That was in 2016. Ano? Eh, um, just this Monday, the judge convicted them and sentenced them to reclusion perpetua. Attorney Kho, can you take us back? By the way, good day, no, attorney, no. Can you take us back to 2016? What is this case about?
The case occurred on October 23, 2016, where 5 members of the Cagayan de Oro police were seen through a video forcing the victim, in this case Enrique Fernandez III, into the vehicle. And after leaving the establishment, Uptown Condotel, the person, Enrique Fernandez III, disappeared and is missing up to this day.
And what was the sentence that they got?
The sentence for the crime of kidnapping made by the court is reclusion perpetua, which
Mm-mm.
means actually an imprisonment of at least 40 years.
At least 40 years. Hindi maximum,
Yes.
40 years.
Oh, at
At
least
least.
40 years.
Uh-uh. Uh, One of them is a senior inspector. That's let me just go through the names of those convicted. Senior Inspector Ireneo Ramirez, SPO2 Jojo Lim, SPO2 uh, Alain Delon Takubao, PO2 Sangkulan Hussein II, and PO2 Alejandro Ubanan. Is that correct, attorney?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And I understand they were also charged with another crime because the judge's resolution is a joint decision, a joint how do you call that? Consolidated
Joint
decision.
division.
Uh-huh.
There is a companion crime, which is carnapping,
Okay.
because it can be seen on the video that the motorcycle that Enrique Fernandez III used at that time was used by Ubanan in leaving the crime scene, after which the motorcycle also was missing up to the present time.
Mm-mm-mm. And
So that's the companion crime, carnapping.
were they convicted for carnapping?
They were not convicted of carnapping because, according to the court, it is not convinced that the ownership of Madetma, who is the live-in partner of Enrique Fernandez III, was
Mm-hmm.
proven. Because
Mm-hmm.
at that time in 2016, the motorcycle has just been purchased by Madetma, and the papers were still in process when the crime happened.
Mm-mm.
And during the pendency of the during the pendency of the trial of the case,
Mhm.
Madetma went abroad and was no longer able to pursue the uh, processing of her ownership papers of the motorcycle.
So it was dismissed because there was no proof of registration or ownership of the
Yeah,
vehicle.
according to the court, uh, we have not presented the certificate of registration, CR in other words.
Okay. But I think you're happy with the decision because the major one,
Yeah,
the kidnapping case, stuck and you won a conviction.
yes, while I may not agree with the decision on the carnapping, at
Mhm.
least I'm happy that we had secured a conviction on the kidnapping case.
Okay. Okay. Uh, and how is the family taking this victory? Are they happy o medyo bittersweet ang reaction nila?
Actually, while they are happy that they were able to secure justice after so many years, they are still sad because they were not able to recover the body or remains of Enrique Fernandez III.
Uh, have they accepted that possibility that he may no longer be around?
Yes, they have already accepted the fact that at this time the victim Enrique Fernandez III is already dead.
I understand the motivation was something not established in court. The motive for the kidnapping. What was established was that the abduction took place. Now, but how do you make sense of what happened? Why do you think, or what is the suspicion behind this very terrible crime?
This is just pure speculation on our part, considering that there is no direct proof. But when the father of the victim, Enrique Fernandez III, was interviewed in some other media outlets, the speculation was that the perpetrators of the crime has kidnapped the victim for purposes of ransom.
Mhm.
But it appears that the victim had seriously resisted and leading to the perpetrators of the crime to kill him in the process.
So he may have fought back
Yeah, it's possible that he had seriously resisted.
because I was the video that shocked Cagayan de Oro. I saw that in 2016 and I reviewed it again just recently. The video would show this guy is a fighter. He won't allow. He resisted. There were five men who were dragging him into the vehicle, and they were having a difficult time.
Exactly. That's why the the accused, all of them, five of them, raised the defense that the victim had voluntarily went
Mhm.
with them, but the court did not believe them because the video would clearly show that there was vehement resistance coming from the victim Enrique Fernandez III. It took quite some time before the five policemen were able to push Eking Fernandez into the small car that they used.
You mean, attorney, despite the CCTV footage, they were still denying
Yes, they were still denying.
all of them, all the five.
Yes,
They
otherwise there will be no need for trial if they had
Okay,
admitted.
okay, okay, okay. Well, I'm curious. What was their excuse or what was their defense? How
Actually,
did they?
there is the defense that they were doing a legitimate drug operations, but the record will show that there was no legitimate drug operations involving Enrique Fernandez III at that time.
You mean they made it appear that it was part of the drug war?
Yes, that's what they
Because
raise as a
because
defense.
I'm taking note of this because it happened in on October 23, 2016. Just barely 3 months after the previous president assumed office, and he was
Yes,
and at that time it was the height of it was the start of the drug war. No, that period was the start of the Duterte administration's drug war. So they used the drug war based on what you're saying. They use the drug war as an excuse, as their
yes,
defense.
yes.
Okay. Now, when you saw the video, the first time you saw the video, attorney, what was your reaction?
Uh, my reaction was that there was really an intention to arrest this person if there ever was a legitimate operation. But as it turned out, since there was no legitimate operations and the policemen were acting on their own without any legitimate purpose, they are considered as private individuals and thus they are guilty of the kidnapping.
Uh, Attorney, during our we talked before this interview, we had an initial discussion, and you mentioned to me that you were glad that they're behind bars because these guys were operating like a criminal syndicate. Would you
Yes,
elaborate?
because
Would you elaborate on that? Anong modus
uh,
nila? Anong modus nila?
although they are policemen, when policemen uh, act, acts illegally, no, they are no longer considered policemen. It is as if they are private individuals. That is why they are charged for kidnapping because if the detention is legitimately done by a police officer
Mm,
and a victim has complaints about it, the crime that would be charged is serious illegal detention
mm.
and not kidnapping because kidnapping pertains to an accused who is a private person.
I could imagine that the CCTV footage was a vital piece of evidence in your prosecution in the prosecution. Ano?
That's
Uh,
very vital. Yes.
Aside from that, is there another piece of evidence that really did the mean?
Yes, we were able to present a child witness who testified that he saw all of these five accused torture the victim at the house of one of the accused Ubanan.
Okay.
That is a very material piece of evidence because he was able to identify the persons as well as the vehicles used during the time.
But this child didn't see. Was he a neighbor or was he a neighbor of one of the suspects or?
Yes, his house is near the house of Ubanan, one of the suspects.
Okay, okay. It's good that the parents allowed him to testify.
Yes, he
And
won.
he just saw them torturing uh, Fernandez, but he didn't
inside the
see,
house of
but
Ubanan.
but he didn't see him dead. He never saw him
Ano,
dead.
because in his testimony, he mentioned that after that torture, Fernandez was again loaded into one of the vehicles, and
Hmm.
after that, the vehicle left the house of Ubanan.
And that was the last time a civilian or someone
Has
outside
seen
the group
one.
saw him alive.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Attorney, do you expect them to appeal the decision of the court of the RTC?
Yes, considering that it is a conviction, it is normal for the accused to appeal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In fact, they can file a motion for reconsideration first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. By the way, all of them are now behind bars, correct?
Yes, they are behind bars, except those two assets
There were two
who
assets.
will be released if there is no other reason for their detention.
Mhm. Are you going to these two, these alleged accomplices were acquitted, correct?
Yes.
So there were seven of them, five policemen were convicted, and these two are they policemen too or civilian?
No,
Just civilians.
they are civilians.
Okay, so the civilians have been acquitted, and you expect them to be released soon. Would you object to
Yes.
that? Are
We
you
cannot
prepared?
we cannot we cannot object to that.
So you're not going to question that anymore.
Yes.
Okay. So, Attorney Armand Kho, any parting words you may want to
Uh,
add something?
I am glad that justice has prevailed in this case, and we are thankful that even with the delay of the trial caused about by the inhibition of some judges as well as the intervention of the pandemic, we were able to successfully prosecute the case. And we are thankful for that.
Congratulations, Attorney Kho, and my best wishes to the family. And I join them in their bittersweet victory. And I hope they find the remains of Eking Fernandez. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Herbie, for having me in your station.